we're on. I think we're on. All right, let's do a quick check. Make sure everything's working. All right, we are live on YouTube. And Stream Element says we're live. And let's go to Twitch. And Creator Dashboard. Stream Manager. All right. Let's edit some streaming information. What should we call this? The cards have a voice. And we are playing Forsaken Maiden. Um, let's see. Category. Forsaken. Chrysalis is here. Here for the housekeeping. So because I stream on Twitch and YouTube, I did it the old way back before it was an official feature. So I use a third-party service called Restream. And so after I start the stream, I have to go and update the title and everything. So let's see. We did it on Twitch. Now we go back to YouTube. So Chrysalis, did you ever get your latest stream up on YouTube? All right. Content. Ooh, I hope I still have the thumbnail. Oh yeah, that's what I needed to open. I'm a little rusty. Not yet, but I just checked. I can publish it now. Good, good. I will admit, one of the reasons I started streaming on YouTube and Twitch, I found out that when people notice that I'm live on YouTube, they will just come over to Twitch because that's where they like watching. But me being live on YouTube tells them, oh, Seth is streaming. I'm going to go to Twitch and watch it. So that's one benefit. And then the other one is, since I streamed on YouTube, it just automatically gets saved there and I don't have to do anything else. Here, online. Oh, and then I want this. I definitely peruse YouTube more than Twitch. Yes. I've shared that with a few other streamers, but they say that they don't have enough of a presence on YouTube. But I know you have. Oh, I know you have a presence on YouTube. Shoot, where did I store all my thumbnails? I'm pretty sure I still have the thumbnails. Come on. There they are, streaming thumbnails.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
I mean, a tiny presence, super tiny. Hey, Kensei Zero is here. I know you guys. And then save. All right. I think that's it for housekeeping stuff. Come on, save. How's the sound so far? If I kick in the game sound... Whoops. No, I don't want to update. Yeah, we'll kick in some game sound here. And then I could do my smooth jazz voice. Just kidding. Don't do that. Okay, I think that's everything on there. And Pixel Knight's here. You guys surprised me. Because when I first started streaming, I put a ton of effort into advertising when I was going live. But then I have streams like tonight where I feel like the purpose of the stream is for me to remember how to stream. And people still find me, which I am honored and sometimes just a little confused. Okay. Oh, it's Jacob. Hi, Jacob. Jacob, your favorite command is the word friendship. Pixelnice is currently playing Star Wars Republic Commando, and I'm sucking at it. I'm kind of lurking. I'm gonna be heading home soonish. Okay. Well, I admit, Jacob, your first message, the "Hey, I know this guy," that sounds just like your dad. Excuse me. Okay. Alright, so let me know if the sound isn't going. From what I can... I gotta adjust that. Chrysalis says, I'm guessing that was a phone handoff. Alright, what I'm getting in the little sound bars is that I have the audio ducking turned up way too high. It's supposed to work that when I talk, the video game music gets quieter. But what I'm seeing is that it turns off completely. So let me see if I can adjust that real quick. Property, no. Yep, there we go. And let's lower this. And close. Well, I need the game to play the music. Oh, okay, there we go. We're at the tournament. What tournament? He just wanted to say hi. Okay, that's working much better. All right. So, I've noticed that there's if you guys have studied any psychology, there's a hierarchy of needs, Maslow's pyramid hierarchy of needs, which says, you can't care about food if you're worried about safety, and you can't care about personal goals if you don't have food and things like that. And I've noticed that there's one for, at least for me in streaming, and one of those is, if I don't like my job, my streaming is affected, and if I don't have a job, then I can't seem to stream at all. And so we will be playing this game tonight. Voice of Cards, The Forsaken Maiden. Oh, we can take the starting soon off of there. And the last time I streamed this game, I pulled it up in the Discord. You can see it was just here. Yeah, it was September 26th of last year. And I remember because I had just accepted a job, and I had a few days before I started work. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to do a couple of day streams, because streaming is something that I want to do now that I am going to be employed. And so I picked this game because, first of all, we really enjoyed the first game in the series. And second of all, it's a nice, easy, breezy, cozy RPG. Memory Martin's here. So back on September 25th was the first time we streamed this game. And I wrote, "It's good to get back to streaming. I'm starting with a nice, cozy RPG. In this adventure, we find ourselves on an island where the people have accepted the island as forsaken because there is not a maiden to perform a ritual for the continued abundance of the island." Okay, that's right. I remember. I'm doing much better, Memory Martin. I have a job that I enjoy, and so usually streaming in the summer is difficult, but I want to get some streams in. Which is why I asked if you wanted to do a little collab with me next month. I have a few other people that I want to get involved, but I think it'll be really fun. Okay, so one of the reasons that I'm reading out these entries from the Discord is to remind me about the game. And I remember that in this game we were playing, I don't remember our character, but we come across an island, and every island is supposed to have a maiden on it that sacrifices themselves in a ritual. And we landed on an island that doesn't have a maiden for the ritual. And so the island is considered forsaken. Let's see. In the prologue, we create the part of a seafaring adventurer that is adventuring for his own reasons, a fallen maiden, and a self-proclaimed spirit. Okay, that's right. That was the party in the prologue. Our quest is to travel to the other islands and gather the maiden relics from the other maidens and bring them to the island with our own maiden in order to save the island. Okay, I'm remembering. So the next day, I did another day stream, and I said we traveled south and won the affection of the Blue Maiden. With her and her companions, we were able to visit the spire and travel to the spirit world inside Latti's heart. Latti is someone. Once inside, we found her heart scar and proceeded to heal it with the Blue Maiden's relic. When next we meet, we will travel sound again to witness what the maiden's ritual when the Blue Maiden performs it. It will be interesting to see what the ritual entails. Okay, that's right. So, the last time we played this, like 8 months ago, we were about to travel. So we had just befriended the Blue Maiden, and we were going to travel with her back to her island so that we could see her do the ritual. Because our eventual goal is to get the maiden in our party to become a maiden for her island. And the way that we do that is by traveling to the different islands and getting their relics. Okay. So if we go to continue, we will just kind of see. Okay, so the people in the screenshot are the Blue Maiden and her companion. Alright, so we will load up this data. And then after this game, after the last stream of this, I spent 3 months just giving everything to my job, and then we started the Trials of Mana streams in January of the next year, and we did that all the way until February. And this right here is why we're all excited for the Switch 2, because it should not take this long to load, but I blame the game dev for that. Alright, oh good, next objective. Journey to Coveton and prepare for the Maiden's ritual. Okay, I can't remember. Alright, we'll jump right back into combat. I can't remember if I had, like... Sometimes in between streams, I will, like, go through and do a little exploration, like uncover the rest of the map. Let's see. What do you think? Does bolt damage super effective against guys in the water? Yep. Super effective. Okay, so the maiden with blue hair is the maiden in our party. And then this is... Wait, are these gems shared? They are, that's right. Crystal says, is this a deck building game or just stylized to look like one? No, this is just a basic RPG, but the... Oh yeah, I forgot. This is why I have to be on Twitch. Crap. How do you ban people again? Make me a mod, I'll take them out. I don't know how to do that either. Oh, there it is. Maybe? Oh, okay. Silly me. You have to left click. I was right clicking. Where were we? We were shaking out and getting ready. Oh, we even get a chest on this one. Quality sad. Oh, we missed the gold nugget. Chrysalis with a shotgun. That's right. Remember, Mark says, wait, why am I not a mod? Okay. I remember this was brought up because lots of people wanted to be mods. And the reasoning that I gave back then, I know, and if anyone deserves a sword next to their name, that would be Zero. I remember because last time we talked about this, it was a long time. It was a long time ago, and I was much newer in streaming. Alright, Baron. From out of nowhere, a sweet fragrance wafts over you. You look up to see the ripe fruit in the tree above. There's a reasonably sized stone at your feet. A precise pitch at the tree's bough could knock some fruit loose. Will you throw the stone? And then we will do a skill check. So let's go ahead and throw it. You take the stone in your hand and wind up. Roll a 3 or 4 for success. 3. Excellent.
Your pitch strikes true, releasing a hail of fruit. You divide up and enjoy the spoils.
Yay!
Believe in yourselves and the power of friendship.
Zero. I can give you a sword in mine. I don't believe in guns. Okay, I think I did go around another event. Oh, I was supposed to see what that was. You spot something blown into the sky from a whale spout. It looks like it might fall this way, but it's hard to make out with the sun behind it. What will you do? Do you catch it, hit it with your sword, or dodge it? Let's go with dodge
You steer
it.
the boat out of the falling object's trajectory. It hits the water and sinks below the waves.
Oh, it doesn't even show me what it was. Oh, I should have tried to catch it then. So when an event like that happens, the card shoots up in the air and it gives you just a brief glimpse at what it is. Nope, not that way.
Stop right there. You can't cross reef cards.
But the mod conversation, I know, the mod conversation happened where I saw other people taking their mod duties so seriously that like when someone would stream, they're like, "Oh, well, I have to go to their stream and be their mod." And I said, "I don't want anyone, feeling pressure to do that." And so for that reason, I have not made any mods for my stream. Even though I'm sure that lots of people would have no problem.
It's like you can feel the sea breeze. Ha ha.
I can't remember. Okay. I didn't see it very good. But we're definitely going to try to catch it. You open your arms wide, and into them falls a fish. Oh, nice. If I feel pressured, it's my business, not yours. Pixel Knight says I was stuck for a few minutes until I realized I needed to look to the left. And so, yeah, now that I don't take my streaming as serious, I trust other people not to take my streaming as serious. Mary Martin says, "Do you know how often Solid and Harem come into my streams? Not a lot, but they've been my mods for several years." I see, and I knew that this reason that I had back then was just gonna fall apart. Let's see. Yeah. So, yeah. Ooh, nice. Critical. I will, yeah, I'll just have to start doing that. And assigning some mods out. Doling out the swords. Okay, so we need to find our way back to Coveton. So this is our character. I don't remember a lot about him. Because we are the blank slate character. But I remember that I liked that in this game, even though I am the blank slate character, my character does stuff. Like, he has his own motives and everything.
You catch Laddie stealing glances at the fishing rod on the boat. Perhaps she'd like another shot at glory.
Laddie. Is that our companion? Is that the Maiden? Alright, let's go fishing.
She clumsily, haltingly readies the rod and casts the line into the water. Minutes pass. Suddenly, the rod jerks toward the water. Laddie, panic in her eyes, looks to you for help.
Alright. Let me know if the sound isn't sounding good. Alright, what do you say? Now pull.
The rod bends and fits and starts. You're sure she's got something. She gathers herself for a moment and pulls with all her might. A small fish dangles on the line.
Alright. We got a delectable fish.
Overcome with joy at her first catch, throws her arms around Lack and squeals with glee. You look at the fish, beaming with pride. You know what Laddie will be having for supper this evening.
Laddie recovered 5 health. Yeah, journey to Coveton. Let's see, we want the menu. Alright, party. Okay, so this is Baron. Alright, Baron, Laddie. I don't remember their names. Options. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Nah, give me like the status screen or something. Oh, come on. Okay, menu. Alright, collection. No, we want characters. Okay. A navigator from Omega Village. Unlike everyone from the village, he cannot accept the island's impending end. Okay, so we are a resident of the Forsaken Island. And then this is Laddie. Yep, a young woman from the shores of Omega Isle, protected by a young navigator. That's us. She has lost her voice for reasons unknown. Okay. Chrysalis asked what the game was about. So this is your standard turn-based RPG, but the whole world is made out of cards, and the vibe of the game is that this is like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign that has been set up for you by the voice. So the series is called Voice of Cards. Everything in the game is set up as if it were a tabletop RPG, and everything is made out of cards besides, the dice and the dice tray, which we do the combat in, and things like that. And so there's only one voice in the game, and that is the voice behind the cards. And then you have us that are playing through the story. And so this is the second game in the series, and we had a really good time with the first one. Okay, and this is Lack. All right. A creature resembling a charming stuffed animal. Calls itself a spirit, but whether its appearance is its true form or something wearing some kind of headgear, no one knows. Pixel says, the game I'm playing is a first-person shooter where you play as a clone trooper and lead a team. Okay. That does sound fun. Mary Martin says, why does this sound like the dude that does the transitions from the Nintendo Directs? Yeah, no kidding. Okay, and then, no, not Lack. And then we have, no, not Laddie. Fila, there we go. Chrysalis says, I would die for Lack. Mary Martin says, why do all my friends keep convincing me to get more games just by playing them? I don't know. You must resist. There's a third game in this series, and I haven't bought it, but this, when other people play cozy games, they're playing like Animal Crossing, or I know some people play Minecraft creative mode as their, relaxing cozy game. And this would be a good example of a cozy game for me. So cozy sometimes that when I play other turn-based RPGs, sometimes I fall asleep. Okay, so Fila, the Azure Maiden and Savior of the Coven. Fun-loving, ever-smiling, and gifted in witty banter, all around her find themselves given to easy smiles. Okay, we cannot flip the card over yet. And this is her companion. Hide. You're making it difficult. Attendant to the Azure Maiden and her lover. Calm and given to perfectionism, his steely demeanor interrupted by a smile. I do remember that. He's very serious. Emery Martin says, I'm trying, but you said it's D&D-like, and I'm getting into that with a local gamer girl group. Yes. And I am finding that I'm enjoying more D&D adjacent style games. In fact, I told my friends, I said, this summer I want to play a campaign game. And Zero said, well, we can always do D&D. We can run a campaign through there. Because I was specifically suggesting I want to do like a board game campaign or something.
Laddie greedily eyes the fishing rod on the boat. You can't help but feel she is eager to have another go.
All right. And this is part of that D&D like is
the rod is in her hands and the line in the water.
As you travel the world, yes, you have random encounters, but you also have random events like this. And you can see we've run into a lot of them.
Suddenly, the rod jerks.
So the idea of this game, or the idea of this part right here, is that you can tug on the card and you can kind of see. So I've read that there's nothing on the hook. So I don't want to say now pull. Because if I hold this up, it says there's nothing on the hook. So I want to say not yet. The end of the rod whips towards the water. This is it, the big one. You turn to assist Laddie just in time to watch the rod fly out of her startled hands. Alas.
She looks ready to cry, perhaps in frustration at how easily shock got the best of her.
Chrysalis says, Memory Martin, the D&D bug has hit me too. I found a local store that does games, and I'm going to start going and force my husband to go with me. Pixel Knight says, I've been having really bad luck with my last few D&D sessions, but I'm having fun. Pixel says, seriously, I've died like once per session, pretty much.
Aw, just a bit of bad luck. Nothing to be ashamed of, you offer, trying to console her.
And I've also talked about... Oh, that's an enemy. That's definitely an enemy. What will you do? We will hit it with the sword. You hurriedly draw your sword and strike the falling object. It turns out it was a monster. The blow you struck has it disoriented. It immediately dives back into the sea and swims away, leaving behind a scattering of coins. Awesome. Okay, so let's see if we can get over here. Oh, this must be the right way, because the card is glowing. Your party makes land. Dock at the South Isle? Yes. Zero says, aw, thanks, and I'm not even there. Okay, so we've loaded into a new area. So now we go to Coveton. Coveton. Alright, let's go to Coveton. I'll probably keep alternating which way I say it.
I'm back, Fila exclaims cheerfully to the unsurprised gazes of her fellow villagers. They seem well accustomed to her gallivanting off on some adventure or another. Hyde suggests that you get some rest before the ritual, so you head to the inn.
Okay, we head to the inn. Fila and Hyde have left the party. Lack is eligible for battle. Rest at the Coveton Inn. Okay, so I know that we've already talked to everybody. Paper crafting villager. The village gets so lively when the maiden is here, the man mutters with his brow furrowed with worry. Okay. Alright, so let's just go right to the inn. Pixel Knight says, one of those times was from a unicorn. I was trying to pet it and accidentally cast Fireball. That night at the inn, you get to thinking about the ritual.
It's a right to protect the island, one passed down through generations of maidens. If Laddie becomes one, she'll have to do the same.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to reiterate the premise of the game now that it's come back to me. So we are Baron, and Baron lives on an island that doesn't have a maiden. And he meets Laddie, and they're trying to turn Laddie into the maiden of the island. And they know that in order to do that, they have to go through this maiden's ritual. But we don't know what the maiden's ritual is. So that is what we are here to watch the Blue Maiden do. And the Blue Maiden is Fila.
Laddie, paying you no mind, gobbles down her food, occasionally choking on bread. Well, sweet dreams.
The next day,
Fila and Hyde await you outside the inn.
as your maiden and company.
They tell you that in order to conduct the ritual, they have to visit the altar where the spirit is enshrined. To do so, you must go off the southern shore of the island.
Wait, what? Fila and Hyde have joined your party. Lack is no longer eligible for battle. Leave Coveton. Alright. Is there a way to leave from the south? There is. A well-maintained fishing boat sits anchored in the water. You glance at the catch on board and deem it acceptable. There's not. Alright. Leave Coveton. Alright.
A crowd of villagers gathers as your party is about to leave Coveton. A villager hands Fila a talisman shaped like a fish. He says that it contains a spell to help you along the way to the altar and a wish for the ritual success.
Good luck with the ritual. We're praying for you. We love your smile. And I don't know what it is about this, but I find this to be one of the more charming parts of the game. Instead of having, you know, character portraits with text on the bottom, or, you know, having 3D models, instead everything is portrayed with cards. And so the text boxes look like this.
Words of encouragement. It appears the free-spirited Maiden's smile has uplifted the villagers' hearts. Thank you for always watching over me, she says, with the same bright smile as always.
Head out to the South Isle. Yes. Venture to the south coast of Coveton. Alright. Nope.
Okay, hold up.
Oh, enemy appears. Alright, so then we bring out this small table where we have the dice and the gems.
Fight.
So the way the combat works is the cost for the card is over on the bottom right of the picture, and it's in gems. So I could use all 3 gems to cast Blizzard, or I could use 1 to cast Thunderbolt. So again, it's a very basic RPG system,
Fortune favors the bold.
but it's good. Let's do... yeah, freeze. Well, we're over leveled, so I probably don't need to put this much thought into it. First loser says, your face is a very basic RPG system. Yeah. Oh, I need to have you back over at my house, first loser, now that I'm employed and feel better. Last time you came, I was not myself. Which is why I'm good. Why I feel good about lending you that game. Because that means that we definitely need to get together. So that we can exchange games again. Yes, I did find work. I've been at this job for about 3 weeks. So it's definitely been good.
When you arrive at the shore, Hyde speaks. Now we go underwater.
Now we go underwater. Underwater? But why or but how? I'm gonna go, but why?
Hyde explains that the temple where the ritual is carried out is underwater. That's why.
Oh, I thought for sure we were doing the ritual at the Maiden shrine in town. So this is new. Underwater. But how?
Hyde explains that the talisman the townspeople gave them contains magic that allows you to breathe underwater.
Ah, does that work for all of us, I'm assuming?
Hyde sees that you still have your doubts. Let me show you instead, he says, then activates the magic talisman.
Yes, first loser. After you and your kids left, my kids were like, when can we play with them again? You know, when can they come over again? So, they're excited. Okay,
Come on, follow me, Fila exclaims cheerfully. She and Hyde both dive underwater without a moment's hesitation. Laddie looks at the water apprehensively, and you can see her pondering her ability to swim. Before she can drown in self-doubt, though, you take her hand and follow Fila and Hyde's lead.
Ooh, we take her hand. So forward. Come on, Lack.
Stop, we'll drown, Lack shouts, but you pay it no mind. Life seems to be one odd experience after the next lately. Though you're underwater, you can breathe. You inhale deeply, but only air fills your lungs. Laddie stares in wide-eyed wonder at the colorful coral reef and myriad fish swimming about.
I still haven't decided.
Seabed temple resting quietly at the bottom of the ocean. It's now a peaceful haven for sea creatures.
Venture into the Seabed Temple. I still haven't decided like what twist they're gonna pull when we see the ritual. Like, for all I know, the maiden dies at the end of it, or is lost, or maybe nothing happens, or maybe the maiden loses her voice during the ritual, because Laddie doesn't have her voice, so maybe she's already been a maiden. It's not, you know, it's not going to have this deep magic system or have a big brain bender or even have a, you know, some terrible twist. When we played the first game in the series, we were able to guess most of the twists as they were coming up, but it does have enough of a, we're going to throw a little bit of misdirection in here, and I'll bet you didn't expect that to keep the story interesting. Okay. Alright, we go down. Okay, enemy appears and we're in a new area, so they should get tougher. Wow, that eel looks gnarly. Let's see. I'll bet the eel is the offensive power. The two smaller animals, they have higher defense and higher health. Constrict. I didn't see the roll. Must not have hit. Okay. I don't think water damage is going to do a lot. Alright, let's do assault, and then let's see if I have a good AoE attack that can hit all of them. Chrysalis says, I have a dark theory, but I know nothing about this game or what the other one was like. Like in the other game, you know, you start out, and this group of people are very well liked. You know, they're a bunch of monks and whatever. And we were like, and from the very first part of the game, we're like, oh, these are totally the villains. You know, everyone likes them, but there's going to be some heinous, you know, story or something else. And of course, by the time we got to the end of the game, we were like, oh, we were right. The good people are actually the bad guys. And so the overall story was nothing that didn't... It was your standard run-of-the-mill RPG story, but inside that story, there were lots of funny moments, and there were lots of, you know, like misdirection between like the characters and how they would interact. And so that it was that part of the game that made it enjoyable. But as far as the combat system and the plot, those were all, you know, just about what we had expected. Oh, here we go. Burst. Deal damage to all enemies if a roll is 3 or greater. Alright. Let's see if we get a 3 or higher. Awesome, 6. Nice. Kensei Zero says, but hey, that's just a theory. A dark theory. From Chrysalis. Probably. Alright, and he hit... Alright, let's see. Self-heal. Okay, there we go. Grand Slice. Deal damage to all enemies. But we don't need that right now. So, just stab will work, I'm sure.
You did great.
You used the Kensei Zero hair emote, which plays that sound cue. And I believe if you type Go Ori as a command in the chat, it will play Memory Martins.
From the window, you can see the few rays of sunlight that reach the sea floor, undulating in the current.
No, I think it has to be a command, Ori. Exclamation point, then Go Ori. Or maybe just no space.
Despite being submerged, the temple is filled with air. You can't help but wonder if this is the
There we go.
spirit at work.
Okay, good. They still work. It's been a while since I made that little bit of code.
In her ever-cheerful way, Fila explains that this is where Azure Maidens undertake the ocean trials.
Ocean Trials.
Let's
So we're
get
going to have a
going.
Pokemon gym battle.
Hyde watches as she leads the way, concern apparent in his eyes.
See, and he's been the guy who's been like, yep, we need to do the thing, but we need to prepare for it. Head to the altar inside. Okay. Eevee pouted because the sound alert. And Yoshi was Yoshi and not her. Well, I remember that's a voice clip of you saying that. And so we can totally replace that with one of you talking as Eevee instead. The enemy appears.
Show him what you got.
All right. So I remember, yeah, my character has that great AoE attack, but I always go last. I'm pretty sure my character is the slowest. Pixel Knight says, I watched the first Star Trek movie with my dad. It's alright. It could have been a lot better. Mainly, it's just really slow. Which is funny that you say that, because that is my criticism of the original Star Wars trilogy. Is that the pacing is very slow. And I've only seen the movies once. It was a long time ago, back when Kensei Zero and I were roommates. And I tried to watch episode 1 with my daughter because she had a brief spell where she was interested in Star Wars because of her cousin. And I couldn't get through episode 1 either. Ooh, missed. Memory Martin says, yeah, I know. That's back when people would request Yoshi a lot, but nobody really does anymore. Memory Martin says, that's how I felt when I watched the first episode of Lost. I didn't know several actors from the 2010 Hawaii Five-0 were in it. Pixel Knight says, I wouldn't say the original trilogy is slow. And yes, that is the hot take. Is that I think it is. But it's always been the big, because I've had other people that are like, oh, I don't want to watch, like, I don't want to play, like, Super Nintendo games or NES games. Just because they're so old, and I used to be like, oh, come on, they're great, and everything. But, man, if I watch a movie from the 70s, I'm like,
Into the Stela.
I'm just so used to modern movies that I cannot, I can't appreciate older movies like that. Okay, a fish. I wonder if we need to remember that.
A crystal is carved into the stela.
Ooh, crystal. Okay, so the crystal's on the left and the fish is on the right. No. No, I'm pressing down. My biggest hope for the Switch 2 is that the controllers are better.
Don't hold back.
Memory Martin says, I play them so chat can see how bad I am at them. Chrysler literally has to carry me through Donkey Kong Country. See, Donkey Kong Country. It's a game that I haven't played yet. Oh, we missed. How much is water damage going to do against these guys? Oh. Yeah, nothing against the little blue guys. And I used all of my gems for that. Oh. Well, dude ran. I still get experience for getting the one in the middle, right? And that was a fight for the ages. Yeah. Now, Star Trek the Motion Picture has like a 5-minute shot just to show off the ship. And for some, there's like a minute or two of just stars before the Paramount logo. It's not credits with stars, just stars. Murphy Mart says, those little guys were so cute. I want one as a pet. They would make a good plushie, for sure. You fulfilled the necessary requirements and unlocked the Sea Angel's enemy story. Okay, so let's look at that. So if you go into the menu, and you go to Collection, these are the monsters. And so, I wonder if this is the one we found. So, okay, here we go. Sea Angel. And you'll notice that there's a prompt to flip over the card. And it gives you like an extra bit of flavor text, which is sometimes funny or thoughtful or intriguing or whatnot. So, Sea Angel. This little creature is known as the Sea Angel because of its ethereal appearance. It's often seen staring vacantly into the distance. Less seen, however, is the rather shocking manner in which it feeds. Those who have witnessed such horrors prefer to call it the Sea Devil. Stuff like that, which I appreciate. Memory Martin says, Crazer and I have been playing Xenoblade Chronicles together on the Switch, and I've been saying how badly I want a plushie of Riki. Oh yes, I know that one. Pixel Knight says, doesn't help that all the uniforms suck. Oh, every character has a random costume change at different points. Let's see, and then yes. And then I can't remember. Furball. There's a village where these creatures are kept as pets. Their excess fur is sheared off and used to make exceptionally soft and luxurious clothing that is highly sought after. Oh, and we have not unlocked this story. Aha. Tales abound. So this is the water ball. Tales abound of a traveling masked performer who used trained monsters in his act. It proved wildly popular and brought mirth to many. After the man's death, one intrepid monster took up his mask and attempted to carry on the act. It was an abject failure and audiences soon dwindled. Blue Fungo. Okay, we haven't unlocked that one yet. So yeah, little things like that. Water ball is an icon. It's little touches like that that make this game so appealing to me.
A temple is carved into the stela.
Okay, so we had a temple, a crystal, and a fish. Why do I feel like this is going to end up on the test? A temple. Wait, we just had a temple. Alright, temple, crystal, fish.
Fight him off.
Ooh, that crab is a new one. Oh, his defense is way high. Oh, that's not going to go well. Let's see if we can poison it. So if we inflict deadly poison as a status, then I think every time it attacks, it takes damage. Or every time it has a turn. Oh, nice. Or we could just critical hit and knock him out.
Magnificent.
Yeah, let's do freeze on the electric one. Alright, another 10. We're rolling great. And we'll just knock him out again. Alright, now for the blue angel, which some have called the blue devil. Spew? Yeah, we don't like that. Okay. Alright, that'll wrap up this one. So yeah, it was those little unexpected keep you on your toes moments from the first game that really have me curious about what is going to happen once we finally see this ritual. Crystal says, watching the stream makes me realize that I need to play games that are more fun to watch on stream. Like a game like this where the art is so good. It was funny, before I started streaming, I talked with other people who enjoyed watching streamers, and I was the one who said, watching people play video games is not fun. And then I was invited to come over to a coworker's desk, and he said, you know, watch this guy, and I watched him, and he was able to put on a show, and it was like, all right, it's clear that this guy is really good at his craft. His craft just is playing video games, and he was so good at it that it was very entertaining to watch. And when I started streaming, I was like, I'm not that good at games. I'd rather just talk about the game that I'm playing and discuss like the design of the game and whatnot. But there are, happenstance, all allies land criticals. Awesome. I wonder if critical hits ignore the defense. And that's why that poison killed the crab in one hit.
Magnificent.
So yeah, when I started streaming, my goal was to make a stream that was more, I'm gonna put this stream on in the background and just have it going while like I'm playing a video game or just if any, you know, something like that. Which is why Pixel Knight is playing a game. Oh, I'm gonna need to heal Fila at some point. And that's also why like I read out all of the comments that are in chat, is for people who just have this on in the background. But I will try to draw attention when like something interesting is about to come up for those who want to watch. And every once in a while, I will break this rule. And, like, one of my favorite streams is when I played through Castlevania and we kept track of how many times I died during my first playthrough of Castlevania. Alright, let's save the door. A crystal. Now, was there a fish on that other stela? Was it crystal, temple, fish? Memory Martin says, I'm also playing a game. Multiple games, in fact. Pixel Nice says, I feel like they wanted to show off impressive effects more than tell a story at times. Yeah. That eel looks pretty cool. Constrict. Oh, got it. Yeah, let's risk it on a burst again. It's just fun. Come on, 3. 10. Nice.
Fortune favors the bold.
You betcha. I can't remember what paralysis does. Rain Call. Do you think that'll do 5 damage? These guys were weak to water. I don't even know if it's going to do 5. Yep. 5 and 4. I think paralysis makes me skip my turn. Yeah, there you go, Chrysalis. You need to make one of those all my links and just have it pop up in your stream. At least I think it's handy. Alright. Come on, gold nugget. Oh, we got the quality sab again. That's okay. Azure Spirit Stela.
The Stela is shaped like the Azure Spirit, guardian of the Isle.
Okay. Okay, so crystal, and then this one was a fish. Need to get there. Alright, these same couple guys. Add 3 to all ally and enemy attacks. Okay, so let's try...
Hold back.
Now that we've got 3 added to our attack, I wonder if we can knock out the eel in one hit. Oh, we missed it by 1. Oh, never mind, we got a critical. Nice.
Magnificent.
Let's go for Fatal Sign. Got it, got it. And freeze, just for good measure. Alrighty, alrighty. Chrysalis says I should switch to Stream Elements. What are you using now? I know the reason that I went with Stream Elements was because you could put custom code into it. Ooh, we've unlocked Seaworm. Alright, let's go read Seaworm's story. Collection, monsters. Which one is Seaworm? Is it this one? Seaworm. The flesh of this mammoth creature is delicious raw, boiled or roasted, but is also stores well dried, making it ideal for feeding the hungry masses. Of course, people are not the only ones who find this creature delectable. Partaking of its flesh risks feeding any number of its attendant parasites. Ugh. What is this thing called? Abyss worm. The death light, a greenish hue that glitters from the sea beast, from the deepest seabed. None who lay eyes on it survive, for 'tis in fact a fearsome beast. The legend tells of a day the sea glowed a sickly green. Witnesses claim they heard an unearthly roar rose from the depths, and when the light vanished, so too had an entire harbor. Whoa. What's this guy called? Shell crab. Imagine that. Streamlabs. Okay. A fish. Okay. So the Stela are crystal, temple, and fish.
The door is sealed tight, The image of a crystal is carved into it. On further inspection, you see words inscribed as well, but they're faint. You can make out the words, "Touch the Stela." This must be the trial, Fila murmurs. You decide to look for clues to help her open the door.
Find a way to open the door emplaced with the crystal sigil. Okay, well, why don't we touch the crystal stela?
Maybe I have to do it because it's my trial, Fila says, reaching out toward the stela.
Ask Fila to touch the stela? Yes, Fila, touch the stela.
Fila gently touches the stela, and it releases a faint light. But the area remains silent. There is no indication that the door has opened. Let me try again, Fila says, touching the stela once more. This time, the light dissipates. She then panics and replaces her hand on the stela, causing the light to return. It appears the stela can be illuminated and darkened by the Azure Maiden's hand.
Okay. Man, almost. Like in every RPG, when you know what you want to do,
Fight 'em all.
you're like, I don't want. Yeah, you're like, I don't want random battles right now. Bonk. We're gonna risk it on a burst. Memory Martin, Chrysalis is asking what games you're playing. If I had to guess, one of them is probably a Pokemon game. They didn't run away. I half expected these little guys to run away. Bonk, bonk. You are wrong, says Memory Martin. Well, you have piqued my interest then, and I am curious to know what you are playing. Memory Martin says I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles on my Switch and some idle games on my laptop. Well, that would make sense. How's school going? It's been a while since I've caught up. Are you still doing the school thing? I know that you had a little bit of a class where you had to learn Python, and I am now learning Python. I use that in my new position. So, which is good, because I'm excited to learn Python. Alright. Yes, Fila, touch the stela. And this opens the door.
Noise in the distance. It's the sound of the crystal door being unlocked.
Not in school. Alright, we opened up the door. And we almost made it. Well, have you done any more programming since then, Memory Martin? Multiply gold earned from victory by 2.
And fight.
Worked at a daycare for a year, but left in March. Corporate was too much for everyone. Yes, that does happen. Working at a daycare, man, it's one of the unappreciated man. Leave my party alone. Risk it on first. We got it. With a critical. Yeah, 156 gold. Alright. Through open door. Next door. This one has a temple.
Yet another door.
Yeah, we know how to get
This
through the
one
temple.
is a
These
carving of a temple.
puzzles are easy. Chrysalis says, Memory Martin, I've heard the corporate part of daycare is really bad. I've had friends with bad experiences, always understaffed, and expected to do so much it seems impossible. The kids, or Memory Martin says, man, you two have the exact same color for your name. Memory Martin says, the kids and the parents were fine. All of them appreciated the work I put in, and my elementary kids loved the science experiments we did. I was planning on writing each of them a letter before the school year ended because I didn't get to give them a proper goodbye. Oh. That would be tough. Purple Gang, yes. And the program that I use also shows your profile picture, and you both have, you know, that like pastel color scheme for the background. So I gotta double check. It's just fun to risk it on burst. Ooh, 7. It's close. Why does that one have so much more health than the other? Alright, let's try Fatal Sign, which has always knocked out the crab so far. Will it do at least 6? It will. Alright, and I don't think we've ever had this creature attack us. There we go. Ooh, man. I think they've run every time. Three dice. Boom, 14. Memory Martin says, especially because I know one of them is moving back to where they used to live at the end of the school year. I want to make sure they know they can reach out to me if needed, with parents' permission, of course. That's good. And that was the thing. When it comes to daycare, people who work in daycare do it because they love it. And
You hear a noise in the distance. It's the sound of the temple door being unlocked.
And even though people do it because they love it, we still need to pay them well. Head to the altar inside the seabed temple. Ooh, a door. Enemy. Oh wait, we should probably heal someone. Yeah, we should heal Baron. What's his name on the end? Self-heals at the end of a battle. Although he is getting pretty beat up. Click, click. Bam. Oh, you missed. Well, I guess we should stop having her. We should stop having.
Congrats.
What's her name? It's not Lila, it's like Lata or something. We should stop having her attack the eel. She still hasn't beaten it. Ooh, shell crab story unlocked. Collection monsters. Shell crab. These creatures make their homes along the shoreline, blowing tiny bubbles that glisten in the light of the setting sun, where crowds gather to witness such surreal natural beauty. The bubbles, however, are due to a severe shock stemming from the oxygen deficiency and contain bacteria that can cause blindness should it find its way into an observer's eye. I don't know why I enjoy those.
There's nothing carved into the door, nor is there a keyhole. It appears to be sealed by a mysterious power.
Okay.
Upon scanning the area, you see another door. Perhaps it's worth looking into.
Where's the other door? I don't see it. Oh,
There's a map carved into the door.
a map.
Realizing that there is no keyhole, you figure it must be sealed by a mysterious power. You recognize the pattern from your own map. This is the South Aisle, you say. From behind you, you hear a door open. Sounds like we're being invited in, Fila remarks. You all exchange looks before heading toward the noise.
Find a way to open the door emblazoned with the island map. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't mean we have to go back to the island, because that would be a pain. Oh man, missed. Nice. Kensei says I'm late to it, but yes, Stream Elements is awesome. We'll just do a stab. We've actually never had the crab attack us. We know he has high defense. Oh, that's a plenty high roll. He should be gone. Yep. Let's see, where are we at? Yep, we should probably heal up Baron one more time. Okay, we are headed towards the open door. The maiden is with the ivy. Ask Fila to touch the Stela? Wait a minute.
You decide that this isn't the Stela you're looking for, and try to find another.
The ivy? Equipment? Glaive. Azure Maiden's Relic. So we're probably looking for a spear of some kind, not ivy. The maiden is with the isle. Yeah, that's probably it.
Fila, gently, but you don't hear a door open. There must be some other stela you need to illuminate.
The maiden is with the isle. Okay, so there's just the second one. The maiden is with the ivy. Maiden is with the Iblis. No. An enemy appears.
Hope you win.
Hope you win. Alright, let's try to hit the water one. Not quite. Well, I'm enjoying just playing the game. But I feel like we need a topic to chat about. I know I... Oh, that's mean. There it is. Grand Slice. This will probably knock them out. I know that I just posted a video talking about my backlog, which is many. And right now, that's what I have going for me, because right now I am unable to find it in the budget to save up money or to spend the money for a Switch 2. Nice. 700 gold. So who in the chat is planning on getting a Switch 2 sometime next month? And who is planning on playing more of their backlog? Memory Martins. By the way, you beat me by 10 physical games. In that last short video, Memory Martin commented and said, "I think I have you beat when it comes to physical Switch games." And if it was just the games on that initial shelf, then Memory Martin would have been right. But I have a little overflow for Switch games because I've bought so many. And so yeah, I counted them, and I had 60. Oh yeah, Pixel Knight mentioned in the Discord that Switch 2 has been pre-ordered. Crystal says backlog's gotta come first. See, and that's why I brought up my backlog, because for the first time I don't even feel bad about it. Like, I'm not sitting here just itching to go out and get a Switch 2 because there's just so many games that I need to play. Ken Cicero says, I don't have plans to get one yet, but we'll see. See, and even though I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I don't need one, I wonder if I were to go into a Target or a Best Buy and just see one on the shelf. Oh, half the Target's HP? That's mean. I wonder if I would still feel that way if I just saw it and was like, oh yeah, no, I'm good. I got plenty to play at home. And what's making it such a good job is is Mario Kart World. I do want to play Mario Kart World. But when it comes down to it, I just have so many games that I need to play still. And it's funny because I don't really have all that many plans to play through them. The next thing I want to do is play the classic Mega Man series again. And make some YouTube videos on it. That's just what I want to do. Maiden is with the Isle. Yes.
When you do, you hear a distant sound. There's no doubt the door...
Alright, we beat that incredibly simple puzzle.
The stela is shaped like the Azure Spirit, guardian of the Isle. You can see the following words carved into it.
The way shall open for she who discerns truth from falsehood. Okay. Memory Martin says, I got the Mario bundle to save some money for it. I wasn't sure about it at first, but the direct made me want to give it a try. I'm definitely going to do the free roam mode a lot. And to be honest, that free roam mode is what made me excited for it. I've been thinking about I find that I can't play I just can't play too many games at the same time. What do I want to do? Yeah, let's do burst. I'm gonna play the new Mario Kart just to drive as a cow, says Pixel Knight. Oh, I missed. I must not roll died. Memory Martin says, I kind of wish Mario Kart had a story mode like Smash Brawl. I think it did. I think that'd be interesting. Yes, Brawl had the story mode. I really liked it. Yeah, let's do Fails. Memory Martin says, because after a while I get bored with streaming Mario Kart. That's why I don't do it a lot on my channel. Yeah, I noticed that if you stream Mario Kart, usually you will attract the people who are just incredibly good at Mario Kart. And so it's like, Oh, I went off of Grand Slice, darn. Okay, it's a good roll. Brawl and Ultimate. Ah, that's right, Ultimate did. And I liked the story mode in there. But I'll admit that, in my opinion, a single-player mode in a primarily multiplayer game should teach you how to be good in the multiplayer mode of the game. And I don't think that it did that in Smash Brothers. And then there's Mana. I don't know what you mean, Memory Martin. And then there's Mana. Are you talking about the streamer known as Mana? Or the games under the name of Mana? Because I was pretty happy when we beat Trials of Mana. So I think the next Mana game I'm going to play is Sword of Mana. So I will need to figure out a way to stream that. No. Not that I thought I was going to get to 19. Right here. Yeah, I feel like the story mode in Brawl was better at it, but when you play the story mode in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it encourages you to play and then rely on the spirits, and I think that it makes you a worse player in the main game, in the multiplayer mode, instead of making you a better player. When you said that people who join Mario Kart streams are typically really good, then you have our friend Mana. And people who join just vibe. That's true, I guess. There's another streamer that I like to watch named Bonzinator, and she plays Mario Kart and Smash Brothers every Friday. And for the most part, the people that come to her streams are just people who are just there for the vibe, like you mentioned. But every once in a while, she'll get someone who's, you know, really good at Mario Kart or Smash Brothers, and then they just come in and they just dominate everybody. And she does a really good job of just kind of rolling with it and being like, "Oh, you're so good at the game," and making sure everyone feels good. But so, like, if I stream Mario Kart or Splatoon or a game like that, then generally I'm like, it's not as fun when one person just dominates everybody else in the group. So if that happens and you're playing Smash Brothers, turn on items. We'll do Fatal Sign here. Memory Martin says I haven't watched Bonds in a while. Me neither. But I know she does that because she'll post about it on social media. Kensei says, I will fight you in real life, Seth. I'm just saying. You turn on items. Solves the problem. Come on. There we go. 6. Yeah. Zero's got the right. You know, I liked World of Light, but it did nothing to help me get better. And the first game I played that gave me that opinion was when I played StarCraft. Because I was playing it, Laddie, that's her name. I was playing StarCraft just to play through the single campaign and the story. But by playing through the single player campaign, you naturally become familiar with and become well versed in all of the races, and so when you jump into a multiplayer game, you're like, okay, I am familiar with all this, and I can probably hold my own against people who are my own skill level.
A moon is carved on the west side of the aisle.
Wait, a moon is carved on the west side of the aisle? I haven't found the door yet. Because the Stila said I need to discern truth from lies. Pixel Knight says, well, with fighting games, I'm always stuck with the single player. Oh, we got 4. Is that a harpy? A siren? Let's see, who else needs healing? I don't think we can knock anyone out. Everyone's pretty good, actually. We'll do Blizzard. Zero says, you can get better with single player, but you definitely hit a wall. See, and Solid always tells me how good I am at Smash. I don't believe him, honestly. Well, it's all relative. Like, my perfect Smash group seems to be my brothers. But we invite Kensei Zero and his brother over just because we like hanging out with them. But when we invite them over, they always win. Yeah, we'll just start stabbing things. Ken Scissor says I went 0-2. Oh, is that the tournament you went to? You went to a Smash tournament? And you took Jacob with you? Alright, let's do a heal plus. Because we need it. Ooh, critical heal.
Fortune favors the bold.
And we will stab the harpy looking thing. Jacob and I go every other Tuesday. Alright, good. Over here. Memory Martin says, my dad took me to a local convention back in November and we played a little Smash. He beat me 3 out of 4 times, and this is the man who's never played the game before and doesn't like to play video games. I remember taking Smash Brothers to, like, the office and, like, introducing other people to the game, and I remember the first move you teach a new person at the game is jump, jump, up B. You want to get them to the point where they can get back on the stage after they've been knocked off. Otherwise, anyone who can do that just runs away with it. There we go. And some people, when I said, okay, do jump, jump, up, B, that was like... that's like the threshold. Either someone tries it a few times and gets good at it, or when you tell them a button combination like jump, jump, up, B, they're like, nope, this game is not for me.
The stela is shaped like the Azure Spirit, guardian of the Isle.
Oh, alright.
You can see the following words carved into it.
The sun rises and gives way to the moon that watches over the isle. When the tower is alight, to the way to me shall open. Okay, so we need to light up the tower. So we had a stela that said moon. So we want to find the one that says tower and light that one up.
A sun is carved on the east side of the Isle.
Nope, we need to find the tower. Kinsey says, neither of us do super well. I do better, but not by a ton. I would have won a few sets, but I haven't won any at the tourney yet. I was 1 set away last time. Remember Martin says, bro, I would have cried myself to sleep if that happened to me. Oh, good. Double gold again. I think we're good on health, right? Yeah, for now. Alright, so we'll do Thunderbolt. Oh, alright. No more Thunderbolt against the water harpy things. That's alright. We prefer you to attack him. He has self-healing power. Alright, let's do freeze then. Nice, we got a 6. So, the status for... Oh, we missed. I was gonna say, the status of freeze is pretty much just skip your turn. No, not that. No, not that. Oh, nice. 18.
Excellent.
Yep, then we can do try attack, and that should clear this up. Well, no, I have to roll a 20. That's not a 20, that's a 7. I don't know why I thought that would work. Okay, no, no more thunder. So I guess we're doing Magic Strike. So my base attack value is 11, but her base defense is 6, so we're going to get a 5 out of that. So let's do Heal Plus, because there's only one enemy left. And then we can just do Fatal Sign, and that will get us the win. Okay, we are still looking for the tower. Is it down? Oh, down here?
A lighthouse is carved in the center of the aisle.
Huh.
You wait a moment, but nothing seems to change. There must be other stela you need to illuminate.
See, so I feel like when the game tells me that, I got it right. And we actually don't know. So far, we haven't lit up a stela that has been wrong. Oy. Oh, nice, nice. Ugh. We'll do burst just for fun. Nice. We'll do charge. And then over here we can do grand slice. And that will get us the win. There we go. Yep, I gotta say, it is the music that really brings a lot to this game.
A star is carved in the center of the aisle.
Toys, they're figurines.
A star. Alright, let's read the riddle again. The sun rises and gives way to the moon that watches over the aisle. When the tower is alight, that's the lighthouse, the way to me shall open. Alright. Pixelnice says, I've been playing some tournament fighters on the TMNT Calvunca collection, and I hate the practice mode on the Genesis one, because it's just one round against the CPU. Oh, yeah, that silly crab. Ooh, we need to heal Fila. We'll do that in a different battle. Yep, it's funny. I remember 15 years ago, I really wanted to keep up on video games by getting the latest Sony console and the latest Nintendo console. But the last Sony console I got was the PlayStation 3. This must be the door? No?
A boat is carved in the center of the aisle.
Boat? The sun gives way to the moon, so it must be the moon. There's nothing about a star or a boat. No. Moon, right here.
You illuminate 2 stela, but the path remains closed. There must be other stela you need to illuminate.
I don't even know where the door is. Now we have a puzzle. Pursuer says, when are you going to come join us for a good night of D&D? We were talking about that earlier. I haven't played D&D yet, but lots of D&D adjacent games, like that pirate game I want to play with you guys. Pixel Nice says, also the Genesis one is the hardest one to do the special moves in. Pixel says, what about Xbox's great exclusives like Halo? Wait, they don't own that well. They still have, Oh, is everyone's defense up? Alright, let's do Thunder. Yes, everyone's defense is up. Okay. Honestly, that's okay. Oh. We don't want paralysis on her. Oh, she resists paralysis. Excellent. Excellent. Let's do Fatal Sign. Pixel Nice says, I want to do campaigns for both the Transformers and the Power Rangers role-playing games. Chrysalis says, bring in my boy Lack. If I remember right, he's pretty good at the fighting thing. It's too bad we can't have him in the party when we have the Blue Maiden. So we'll have to get through this puzzle. Let's see. We still don't have the door. I wonder... Oh, that wasn't the right move. I wonder if on the other side of the room it says
Congrats.
the maiden is with the Isle. Pixel Nice says, I would also really like to get my hands on at least one expansion for each of those games. Mainly the one that lets you basically become Soundwave. Learned Stunning Blow. The sun rises and gives way to the moon that watches over the isle. When the tower is light, the way to me shall open. Alright. Well, let's light up the sun.
Fila gently touches the stela. the light dissipates. Along with the light,
Okay, that's what I was afraid of.
it appears you've made a mistake.
Because, yeah, the sun gives way to the moon. Where you become Soundwave, and Chrysalis says, please tell me he's a summoning build. That's nice. It's the one that lets you pick 6 whole things to transform into. Pixel Knight says, Chrysalis, I ain't fully sure, but you do get a few little guys to command with that subclass. Okay. Alright, we'll do Burst. So my plan for streaming so far is to play through this game. And then when I can, I want to get a party of some of my online friends together to play through a board game that Kensei Zero and Chrysalis has already played through called The Dungeon. So I've asked Memory Martin, and then I've also asked 3 other people. Siren. We did not have to beat very many Siren to unlock that. Usually the way you unlock enemy cards is by defeating them. Story is locked. Inspect. Where is Siren? Here we go. Sirens cannot abide ugliness and prize beauty above all. Their silken singing voices have been known to enchant many a sailor during moonlit voyages. They will abscond with the most beautiful men from among the crew to become their mates. The ugly remainders left to watch in silence. Remember, Martin says, I heard my name. I said, yes, I have asked you to do a collab with me, because my plan is to play through this game and then also play through the dungeon. Oh no, wait, we were going down there. So we need a lighthouse. Yes. And then we need the moon. Pixel Knight says they actually have an entire class dedicated to letting you play as the various gimmick types of Transformers called Mode Masters. Alright, let's see. Oh, nice. I should have been doing that this whole time.
Fortune favors the bold.
Yeah, let's do Fatal Sign. So even if the crab gets its turn, it will probably be its last move. And let's do Freeze. Oh. Alright, let's try Air Thrust. Nice. Pixel Knight says, if I was a player, I'd definitely use a mode master because all the subclasses seem to be very fun. Alright, and we'll just do Magic Strike on the eel looking thing. And we are good. Alright, let's read this riddle again. The sun rises and gives way to the moon that watches over the isle. When the tower is alight, the way to me shall open. Okay, so now we light the moon. Yes. The path remains closed. There must be another stela you need to illuminate. Okay, so we know it's not the sun. And we have been given a boat and stars. But I don't think that is the answer. There must be another one.
And fight.
Well, I guess I shouldn't complain about a difficult puzzle, since I already complained about how easy the other two were. Question is...
Fortune favors the bold.
Well, have I not hit anything yet? Nice. Oh, so close.
Yikes.
Well, we haven't seen that before. At least not this stream. Where when a character's knocked out, their card gets flipped over and there's just a coffin on the other side. Man, am I just not paying attention? Or am I rolling poorly? Alright, let's do heal plus on Lati. And then we will poke the eel. Alright, now let's see what we can do about what's his name. Okay, so he gets revived with 1. So let's do... Oh, can I not use items outside of battle? Yeah, I don't want the items.
Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad you could join
Oh,
us today.
speaking of Bonzinator. Welcome, welcome. Bonza Raiders! Psionic and Mitsugardo. Let's see. You know, it's a bummer to me because when I read it, it reads
welcome
Mit
back. Certainly
Sugar
glad you could join us
You.
today.
But I know that's not how you pronounce it. Any board games? And yes, Chrysalis and Memory Martin are welcoming in the Raiders. Pixel Knight says, I'm going to go eat some dinner. Remember to stay pixelated. Well, welcome everyone. We are having a super chill stream playing an old RPG, which is not... The game is not old, but it's like an old style RPG. But yeah, this is my first stream in a while, so I'm kind of trying to ease back into it. But thank you, Bonzinator. That's so awesome for you to come and raid.
Don't hold
My
back.
Blue Heather, welcome, welcome. This game might appeal to the board gamers out there. This is an RPG where all of the... where the world and everything in it is made up of cards. So, in this case, when you come into a battle, you pull out a dice tray where you do all the battles on. And you can see, you know, this attack depends on us rolling at least a 3 or higher on the dice. Okay, we got a 10, so we're going to critical hit. I've played the first in the series. How is this version of Voice of Cards, says Mitch Suguru. And any board games just followed on Twitch, and my Twitch alert did not go off. I apologize. Thank you, Any Board Games. I also played the first version of the first game in the series, Voice of Cards, and I really, really liked it. That's what, that of course was the reason we decided to play the next one. We were talking about it a little bit earlier, and the reason that we liked the first game in the series, okay, good, we got it, was not because it had some, you know, crazy twist in the story or anything like that. It was just the fact that it has a solid combat system, it has a solid plot, and it has just enough like little mix-ups, little twists and turns that fall into...
Touching the stela seems to elicit no reaction at all.
I was hoping that something over here would react. Okay, so I'm on the wrong track. And I don't think there's anything else down here. Okay, so back over to the side. Back over to the other side. And that's why we've picked up this one. We've just started. In this story, we're playing as the guy on the left named Baron. And Baron lives on an island that is considered forsaken because there is no maiden to perform a maiden ritual for the island. And so we meet Lati, who is the girl just to the right, and she can't speak. And so we are questing to the other islands to visit their maidens to see what options we have to try and find a maiden for our own island. And so the predictions that we've already come up with are things like, well, Laddie is going to become the maiden. And the third character in the line, the one that we're working with right now. This is the Blue Maiden, and she's very popular on her island, and we have come with her to watch her do the Maiden's ritual. We have been told that if the Maiden's ritual is performed, then it will bring prosperity to the island. So we don't know what the Maiden's ritual entails. That is one of the things that we're trying to find out. There's a series of predictions we have on what's going to happen during the Maiden's ritual, but we're not going to find out until we get on with it. So right now we are a little stuck on one of the puzzles.
Excellent.
The puzzle reads that the sun gives way to the moon, and when the tower is lit, then the way will be opened. And so there are a series of stela that we can have the Blue Maiden touch that will make them light up. So the first time we read the riddle, I thought, okay, so we need to find the tower stela and light it up, because the riddle says that when the tower is lit, then the way will be opened. But when we lit up the tower and then lit up the moon, it still hasn't opened. So then I went to light up the sun stele, and then it said we'd done something wrong. So let's use a thunderbolt here. Right now, we are seeing if we can figure this out. Alright, let's do... Yep, let's just do a stab here. And I'll take out this guy. Especially if we crit.
Magnificent.
But yeah. What was going on in the Bonzinator stream tonight? Were you guys doing Board Games Anonymous? I know that that is something that I've participated in before. Although, while I do have a sizable collection of games behind me, a bunch of them are board games, it has been a while since I've gotten a new board game. So I haven't done Board Games Anonymous in a while. Let's do Grand Slice. Oh, Bonds was playing Blue Prince. Ended on day 10. Okay, Blue Prince. Now, that is a game that has piqued my interest. What I usually do is I will keep we'll just do a magic strike here. Chrysalis says, I want to play Blue Prince so badly. We've gone over this on the stream once or twice. I keep a playlist on YouTube of just games that I want to kind of keep an eye on. And after hearing about Blue Prince, I definitely added it to that list. I heard some people say that it was a Game of the Year contender for them, and I was like, oh, really? And then I heard a little bit more about the game, and I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely a game that I would like to try. Okay, we are doing pretty good as far as health. Back with dinner, gotta eat. So what is your impression of Blue Prince so far, Bonzinator, when you have a chance? Okay, so one space away from the riddle. That's what happens in these RPGs. When you are on your way to something, it just seems like there are too many random encounters.
Fight.
Alright, let's do a heal on Laddie. And then we'll see if we can tank some hits, because I think at least the 3 eels get to go right after me. Bonzinator says, this is really great. I'm glad I'm playing it. It's not like any other game I've played before. And that right there is the most intriguing part about it. Is so many people describe it as being unique, and new, and anytime a game does that, that's enough to get me going. I at least want to try it. Mitsugaru says, I can see it for best puzzle or indie, but Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is truly a masterpiece. My vote is Clair Obscur for Game of the Year. Bonzinator says, that one is on my list too. Alright, what happened while I wasn't looking? Do we need to heal? Man, they got a paralysis in there. Alright, we probably need to take out some enemies. Let's try a burst and see what we can get. Alright, we got a critical. Crystal says, Mitsurugu, someone told me to play that game on stream the other day too. I will have to check it out. Oh, wow, that was a really good critical hit. From what I understand about Clair Obscur, is that is another turn-based RPG with a basic straightforward battle system, but the plot and things like the voice acting are really lifting it. And part of the discussion I heard on it was that, you know, it's a game that was made with a modest budget that has sold a decent amount and has been profitable, which is unique because a lot of the AAA games take years to make and have a budget of millions and millions of dollars. And so it's a wonder sometimes how anything makes money at that point. Okay, so the riddle is the sun rises and gives away to the moon that watches over the isle. When the tower is alight, the way to me shall open. So we did tower, moon, sun. I wonder if we have to light them in the order of sun, moon, tower. So, just to be clear, I think this one is star, a boat. Nah, we don't want boat. Nothing has mentioned boat, but nothing has mentioned star either, and I'm going to try this one next. Yes.
When Fila touches the Stela, it begins to shake.
Okay.
The maiden steps back, just as the Stela transforms into a monster and charges at you.
I don't know if we made the right move or not. The only reason I guessed star next is because the moon is up. So that would imply that the stars are up as well. Happenstance. Ooh, experience doubled. Okay. So let's do a heal over here. That's one of the reasons that Laddie is such a good party member. She tends to go first, and she has a heal. And I don't think that this monster is supposed to be like a mini-boss or part of the plot or anything. I mean, it does have 20 defense, but... yeah, let's go with freeze. Well, we are not getting very good results from our dice rolls. There we go. Okay.
Congrats.
Thank you. Double XP.
It appears some monsters mimic Stela here, Hyde remarks calmly, despite the battle you just fought. Right, you reply. Then steel yourself as you continue your Stela search.
Okay. I'll bet you that's what happens if we try to touch the boat one as well. Oh, that is still lit up. Well, we might as well try the boat then.
Don't hold back.
But yeah, I'm really thinking that we have to do sun, moon, then tower in order to get this to work. Which it seems to be such a silly puzzle to get hung up on for so long. Alright, let's do first. And let's roll at least 3. There we go. And then we will have Hyde do his dark attack, fatal sign on the crab. And that should get us back to where we can hit the eel before it takes his turn again. And everyone is good for the most part when it comes to health, so we will just do a magic strike. Or we could not kill it. But that's okay, there's only one. So we'll do a heal plus over here, and then we'll have Hyde take it. Yeah, just the staff will work. Okay. Part of me wants to go touch the Stela with the boat, just to see. Yep.
When Fila touches
Yep.
the Stela, it transforms into
Okay, so we know for sure it is not... Yeah, there's only 3. It's got to go in that order. Okay.
Hope you win.
I hope I win too. Nice. Alright, let's do... Not that. Yeah, we'll just do stuff. Oh, that was a mistake. Let's do fatal sign. There we go. Ugh. Yep, let's do try attack. This will get us the win. Perfect. Okay. So we've done that. So now we can come over here to the sun.
Fila,
Say yes.
gently unable to pass the trial. Oh, you're not stuck, are you? Okay, let me give you a hint. Or rather, let the Stela in the middle of the room give you one.
No hints. That's funny. Sun carved on the east side of the aisle. Okay. So, first we do this. Yeah. And then the moon. Yes. Alright, and then we go down to the tower. Alright. I'm getting impatient. We'll see if we can just flee. Run away. Roll 2 dice. Succeeds on a 2 or greater. Well, yeah, I'd say we have a decent chance since the smallest roll we can get is a 2. Okay, back down here. And yes.
Fila gently touches the Stela, and it releases a faint light, You can hear something crumbling. Then suddenly, seawater begins rushing into the room. As if the water isn't bad enough,
Ooh, boss fight.
a gigantic and terrifying snake-like figure comes with it. The water threatens to knock you off balance, but you steady yourselves and prepare for battle.
All right, here we go. Oh, those are big numbers. Happenstance cards will trigger each turn. Gain 1 gem. Perfect. Okay. Yep, let's do sharpness on Baron. Ooh, a 6. Nice. Okay, alright. Mitsurugu says, what? Ooh, yeah, it's getting good now. Okay, now we'll do burst, and hopefully we hit. Because their defense is... I mean, they have a lot of HP, but they don't have as much defense. All their numbers are still bigger than mine, but... Alright, and then over here, we're going to do charge. Okay, just don't paralyze Baron. He's the one that we've been building up. We've got attack plus. Okay, now we can do Grand Slice, and we'll see how much damage that does. This does. With the critical. Excellent. Surf. Deal 10 water damage. Man, we're having a straight up Pokemon fight here. Raging Seas. 6 damage to all. And another Raging Seas. We should be able to live through that. Add 2 water damage. Oh, add 2 water damage. Okay. Alright, to be honest, Blizzard will probably just win it for us. Alright, who's next? Fila? Alright, we'll do heal plus on Fila. Pokili is here! Mystery says, we love these crits, that's right. No, it's a very fun game. We were talking a little bit about cozy games earlier, and this is definitely, you know, I've never cared to play a game like Animal Crossing or Minecraft, but this is my cozy game for sure. All right, we didn't knock it out with a poke, so we'll try attack because we know that'll win it for us. It has 3 health, and we get 3 dice worth of damage. And the crit again. Alright, boss fight win. Lati leveled up. Alright, now what?
Once the battle ends, the rushing waters calm. The trial in this room seems to be over. You might be able to find the path onward now.
Head to the altar inside the seabed temple. I'm guessing the altar is that path of face down cards in the middle, but we're going to have to like either go down a level or come up a level.
Don't hold back.
Alright, yeah. 2 dice and we need a 4. Got it. Yeah, we've done enough fighting in this room. We've got it. Oh, never. Yeah. So what they've done is they've opened one of the wall cards is now a water card. So we can get to that spot in the middle now. Ooh, we succeed on a 2, which means we always succeed. Alright. No, not that. Come on, D-pad. Oh, I thought the altar was going to be in the middle.
Up like a door, revealing a room behind it. You wonder if this is where the water and monster from earlier were hiding.
Okay. It's got to be at the very bottom then. Three defense. We don't like that. That's just gonna make the battle take longer. Ten. All right, let's go. Okay.
The stela is shaped like the Azure Spirit, guardian of the Isle. This one doesn't seem to be booby-trapped.
Is the other one booby-trapped?
The stela is shaped like the Azure Spirit, guardian of the Isle. This door has been passed through for the ocean trials many a time. There are no words carved into it.
The way to me shall open. Mysterious voice.
You hear a mysterious voice echoing in your head. And then the door opens, as if inviting the maiden in.
Okay, okay. Venture through the door to the altar of the seabed temple. Alright. Yes. That's exactly what the game just told us to do. We should probably save the game, though. Yeah, we should probably save the game. It's been a while since we've done that. Data. Save. There we go. Overwrite data, yes. Okay, good. Okay, we've made it to the altar.
You stand before the altar, where the ritual will take place. Grateful for helping her pass the ocean trials, Fila speaks to you and your allies one by one. We always had the best conversations, she tells Laddie with a smile. Laddie returns the gesture. Thank you for showing me a strange new world, she says to Lack, who blushes ever so slightly. Finally, the Azure Maiden turns toward you with an earnest look in her eyes. Protect Laddie, she tells you.
How do you respond? I might be the weird one who's like, well, what if I pick the, the evil or the rude option? But these ones are both the same. I can respond, leave it to me, or I'll do my best. So, leave it to me.
You mean it. Fila gives a relieved smile. Before the ritual, the two hold each other without a word, sharing in their mutual warmth.
Aww.
The scene before you almost breaks your heart. It's as if the two are saying their final farewells.
We knew it. She's not coming back from this.
Fila climbs atop the altar, and the maiden's relic begins to shine, as if responding to the altar.
Now, her relic is a big spear.
Amidst the dazzling light, the Azure Maiden turns to you and speaks.
Thank you so much for everything.
With those words, Fila transforms into light and journeys to where the spirit dwells. Her ceaseless smile remains on her face until the very last moment. The tears on her cheeks, however, tell a different story. The Azure Maiden's relic clatters to the altar. The ritual is over. Silence fills the room.
So that was the whole ritual. The whole ritual is just the maiden going into the spirit world. Because the animation that they did for that was the card disintegrating. And so anytime a card gets destroyed, that's pretty irreversible in this series.
Fila, the Azure Maiden, is gone. The sacrificial maiden's ritual, conducted to protect the island, has claimed her.
That's the first time it's been called the sacrificial maiden's ritual. Even though that's what we were guessing, now we know. Yeah, dang is right.
You shift your gaze toward Laddie and wonder if she embarked on this journey knowing this harsh truth.
Yeah, so now, since Laddie's trying to become a maiden for our island that we're from, and we've seen the ritual, now we're going to have the tough, do we give up Laddie for the sake of the island? Ooh, and the voice is laughing.
A voice breaks the silence.
Oh, looks like Hyde has been possessed. Finally, that infernal woman is finally gone.
The Azure attendant's spiteful laughter reverberates throughout the room. Neither you nor Laddie can hide how shaken the man's sudden transformation has you. You had expected sadness, not this.
See? So this is what we were talking about earlier. It has just enough of a twist. Like, I wasn't expecting Hyde to go all evil. We were expecting the Azure Maiden to not come back with us. But we're like, why are you being weird? So yeah, let's go with what's going on.
Voice quivers as you ask. Hyde doesn't hesitate to answer your fearful question. Hyde tells you that the village forced him to be the maiden's attendant, regardless of his wishes.
Does a maiden need an attendant? I mean, obviously that would be the role that I fill, as the character Baron.
Attendants must follow the village customs and continue to serve the spirit summoned by the maiden during the ritual for their entire lives.
Attendants must follow. The spirit summoned by the maiden? Was a spirit summoned during the ritual? Or was the Azure Maiden the spirit?
Becoming an attendant forced him to give up on his childhood dream of becoming an accessory craftsman. Because of that, he abhorred the Azure Maiden from the bottom of his heart.
Oh, okay, so he's not possessed. He's really upset. Again, just enough of a twist that it's like, what?
Even so, he continued to play the role of the smiling lover that Fila desired.
Well, he played his part well.
Hyde raises his fist overhead to smash his couple's charm, indelibly stained with his deep-seated feelings of hatred.
But that's an accessory. He wanted to make those.
but he cannot bring himself to throw it down.
Okay, okay. Young girl's voice. What a beautiful amulet. Make one for me too. Oh, okay, here we go. So he always wanted to be an accessory craftsman.
The words of the sprightly young Azure Maiden echo in his mind. Though he should have hated her, he had been bewitched by her magical smile. The cries of the Azure attendant, filled with both hatred and sorrow, reverberate through the halls of the seabed temple. Forever and ever.
What? The cute and playful Azure Maiden and her dependable and composed Azure attendant. The lovers share a precious moment in time. Their adventures together. Give the maiden resolve to face her cruel fate. But her smile becomes naught but a memory at the seabed altar, where the attendant reveals how he abhorred her. The echoes of their suffering still linger in those who bore witness. The tale of the Azure Maiden. End. Ah-ha-ha. The trials and rites below the waves reveal their bitter truths. Laddie gained memories of friendship. You obtain the Azure Memories Relic. Azure Memory now, not Azure Maiden.
Hyde says, "Leave me be." Your group leaves him and reemerges from the depths of the sea. Laddie grips Phila's Maiden's relic in hand. The Azure attendant entrusted it to you to help you on your journey. When you parted ways, Hyde informed you that there was rumored to be... When you parted ways, Hyde informed you that there was rumored to be a hot-blooded maiden in Hero's Dominion on an isle in the Western Ocean.
In Hero's Dominion, so that'll be our next destination. To
You
the
call
west.
out to Laddie, who is gazing forlornly at the Maiden's relic, and your group returns to your journey.
The more you travel together, the more your bond with Laddie deepens. Of course it does. That is the big trick, is at the end of the game, we will be faced with the choice of having Laddie go through a Maiden's ritual or not. Ah, our bond. So we now get a joint attack, which the Azure Maiden and her attendant also had. So now we get one. A link skill, that's what they're called. Thunderstrike. Attack plus 12 bolt damage, inflict paralysis on a roll 6 or higher. Okay. Fila and Hyde have left the party. Lack is eligible for battle. Head for the pier on the South Isle where your ship is docked. You fulfilled the necessary requirements and unlocked Fila's Flipside story. And Hyde's. Alright. An event.
A bizarre rock appeared. It seems primed to explode.
Roll the dice and see what it becomes after it explodes. It becomes a 2.
The bizarre rock transformed into an aqua rock. The only way out of this fight is through it.
I'll bet you we could run away. Alright, we got Lack back on the front line. I don't remember how he plays. Whoa! Defense of 50? I kind of don't want to run because it's an event. Alright, let's try a Thunderbolt. Oh. Oh, well, this will be easy. Alright, Lack. Oh, he literally has an attack called Poke. Surprise. And Groom. Alright, let's do Poke. Where he literally pokes. And let's do a Tri Attack. What was that, 16? Plus the crit. There we go. Well, that was more experience than we would usually get from a single enemy in Coveton. Set sail. Yes. Oh, wait.
It appears the sea has undergone a change while you were adventuring with the Azure Maiden. The route to the western seas has opened. Now you can look for a way onto the isle where the Maiden lives.
Venture west on the sea and search for the entrance to the island. Oh man, and we immediately get attacked. Let's see if the enemies are any more difficult.
Fight them off.
Yes, they are. Actually, yeah, they might not be. Poke. Oh yeah, nope. The seas might have changed, but it still seems like we are very over-leveled. So we'll do a little heal. We'll have Lack do a poke. And then we'll do a Tri Attack, and that'll get it. Alright, and then we will check the new side stories, flip side stories that we got for the other characters. Oh, Lack leveled up. Nice. Alright, so let's go to menu and collection, characters. Bila, the Azure Maiden and Savior of Coveton. Fun-loving, ever-smiling, and gifted in witty banter, all around her find themselves given to easy smiles. The Maiden's ritual was her final farewell. Her unyielding smile was not merely a sign that she was enjoying herself, but also a mark of her ironclad determination. And then we have Hyde. Practices divination magic each day in secret in order to carry out perfectly the amusements sought after by the Azure Maiden. right. So let's save the game. All right, and we will call it here for tonight. So, big thank you to everyone who came to visit tonight. Let's see who we can find out there. Thank you, Bonds. Let's see. Oh man, they keep changing the raid UI. Oh, Dash Magnum is streaming. He's playing Star Trek Online. So he's always fun to raid. Let's go raid him. So yeah, thanks again, everyone. I don't know when I'll be able to stream again. May can get kind of crazy at my house, but I will, if I do, it'll probably be on another Tuesday. But yeah, thanks again to everyone. I'll hit the start raid button. And yeah, hopefully I can get back into the rhythm of doing this. Alright, here we go.
Hey, Seth Haskell! Oh my goodness! Hold on. Seth, thank you so much for the raid.
Let me type.
Welcome on in, everybody. I guess Seth, I didn't realize you were streaming tonight. Welcome on in. We're playing. Thank you so much for the raid, Seth. And Seth, as soon as I'm no longer in immediate combat, I will give you a shout out.